Dear Madam Prime Minister, this message comes from a mother who had to remove her 4-month son in the second term of being in secondary school because the bullying peaked when my son was surrounded by a group of boys and one of them slapped him. His father and I decided to send him private school. To this day, we are still paying for that. This message comes from a mother who only last week was informed by her son, not the school, that her 11-year-old son was assaulted. He was pelted with a bottle of frozen water, a bottle of ice. And on Monday, that said bully who pelted the bottle of ice threatened my son. Madam Prime Minister, thank you. Thank you for hearing the plea of the parents of the victims. Thank you for understanding. And all I ask is that whatever law you have to put into place to get this off the ground, please do so expeditiously. Because we, the parents of the victims, we are fed up. We are fed up. I come to bust the mark to give all you a little update regarding the situation involving my son being assaulted with a bottle of ice in a popular primary school. This happened last week, Wednesday. I went into the school on Thursday where I met with the principal and my son's teacher who were apologetic in the meeting. I went with my son's dad. Now, they said that the little boy who pelted my son, he didn't mean to pelt my son. He was aiming at somebody else, but he missed and he hit my son. I said, irregardless of if he missed, he meant to hit somebody and my son got hit, and I would trust that they would deal with this accordingly. They assured me that they would. On Tuesday, my son came into the car and he told me, Mommy, I forget to tell you that yesterday, little boy named Cole saw me walk in and watched me and started pointing like this. So I was like, what? I said, that's a threat. That's a threat. Now, they're trying to convince me that it was an accident, right? But why are you threatening my child now? I emailed his teacher yesterday on Wednesday informing her of what the little boy did. She said she would pass on the message to the principal. Today, Thursday, I received a phone call from the principal of the school to give me an update. He said that they requested to speak to the child's parent. However, they initially sent the granny, but they said they didn't want the granny, they wanted a parent. So the mother came in the school only today, Thursday. Right? So clearly, Miss Ma'am ain't had no time. The principal said that they gave the little boy in-house suspension, and the mother understood why he was getting in-house suspension. So I was like, what is in-house suspension? They said basically he's going to be inside all of lunchtime for a few days. I can't remember how much days he said. So the little terror who is still threatening my child, the only repercussions he gets is to stay inside lunchtime after licking down my child with the equivalent of a big stone. After you all trying to convince me it was an accident, but Monday he threatening my son, and I supposed to settle on inside lunchtime. But he free to run break time, I know. He free to run break time, but he inside lunchtime. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. And then proceeds to inform me that the boy's mother was upset that I called his name. You're upset that I call your bully name? You ain't upset that your little demon-possessed child still antagonizing my son? You ain't upset over that? But clearly you don't have the time to be a parent. So you outside here running rampant, terrorizing people children. You ain't upset over that. But let me tell you this. This is not a threat. This is a promise to the mommy of that little boy. Tell your son, you little monster, leave my son alone. Because you don't want me, you don't have time now, you think you don't have time now, you don't want me to tie up this in our courthouse. You don't want me to take out a restraining order against your demon. Because he won't even be able to step foot on the same compound as my child. You ain't gonna want that. So speak to your child. Make time to speak to your spawn of Satan and tell him, leave my child alone. Because clearly the school not doing enough and they don't plan to do enough in this situation. So speak to your child, because there will be consequences to his actions if he continue to terrorize mine. Please and thanks.